Hey guys, I'm sorry that, this light is in the way. I have blinds and they're brown. So if I try and pull them down, the whole room just goes dark. So I can't do anything about that. And the light's just a big issue at the minute, and it's really making me look really ashy and cloudy, and I don't appreciate it very much. But yeah, I can't really do anything about that. You just got to deal with me and my HD quality, okay? So guys, today, as you probably gathered from the title, it's an eyebrow routine. Yeah. My first ever eyebrow routine, okay? So, I mean, don't judge, because this is how I do my brows. And, I always feel personally attacked if you judge me, so please don't do that. But yeah, if you want to know how I do my brows, or you just want to know a couple techniques or any good products, feel free and just keep it watching. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Or am I just tooting my own horn there? Okay, I hope you enjoy the video. Bye. Right guys, so already you can tell that I have absolutely no product on my face whatsoever when starting this video. Usually I start off with already doing my brows, and when I do my makeup, the first thing that I do apply are my brows. It's just kind of the routine that I've got myself into, and I don't know, I don't like change and I don't like to mix around my routine. If you're the same, leave a like on this video. So what I'm basically going to be doing, I'll zoom you in slightly. As you can see, these are my brows. So yeah, they're not, they're not the worst of brows. I mean, could they be better? Most probably. But yeah, these are my brows. As you can see, quite coarse. Like, I've got long hairs, but there's quite a lot of gaps in between them, which when you're trying to do Instagram pictures, it's not the most flattering. So yeah, I'm just going to give you a little eyebrow tutorial. Don't feel like you have to do these with your brows. It's just kind of, I don't know, how I've adapted doing my brows and just kind of how I've liked doing them lately. Only next year I might end up doing them slightly different. You never know. So the first thing I do is just get a spoolie and just kind of brush them through, because I haven't plucked them or cut them this week. I just see if there's any stray hairs. You just got to get rid of them, So I'm just kind of tidying it up a little bit. I'm just going to give them a little bit of a trim. I feel like this one doesn't need to be trimmed, which is weird because you'd think they'd grow at the same pace, but apparently they don't. The next thing I'm going to do is go in with some concealer. So this concealer, I'm just going with Born This Way Sculpting Concealer in Swan. So I just kind of like to conceal around the brows, and then just kind of tapping it into the skin, into the brows. And usually if I'm in a rush, it takes me like 20 minutes to do my brows. I mean, like one of those girls that, has like 3 different brow routines for different occasions. I personally don't do that. I do the same brows for if I'm going natural, if I'm going full glam. These are the brows that I wear. I just can't adapt to having 3 different brow routines. I can't do it. So, okay, I've applied the concealer. I just feel like it's slightly just laying on my face, where I just want it really dabbed in. So I just go in with my Real Techniques sponge and just make sure it's dabbed in. And then just using my spoolie again, making sure all the hairs are kind of placed where I'd like them to be placed. And the next product I'm going to be going in with is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Powder Duo in Taupe. And that's kind of how it looks like in the inside. And for brush, I'm going in with the Zoeva, what is it, 317 brush. It looks like an eyeliner brush, to be honest. So the colour that I usually go in first is the deeper shade here. And as you can tell, taupe actually seems to be quite a good shade for me, because I used to go in with medium brown, I think. And I used to just do a pomade, and I always felt like it was just too dark. So I do feel like with your brows, you are able to go like a shade lighter and it doesn't look too out of place, if you get what I mean. I feel like if you do the brows too dark, all your features just kind of looks too harsh, which I've kind of liking the slightly Instagram brows, but they're just, you know, a little bit on the natural side, kind of, you get me. So the reason I like to use powder, just because it looks more natural and softer, so that's why I've applied the concealer, because, you know, when you're doing your eye makeup, you apply your base, and not everyone sets it. And the reason why not everyone sets it is because they think that the powder sticks to the wet base easier. So that's kind of the theory behind doing my brows. So the colour I'm going in with is the deeper shade, and I'm just dapping that onto my little liner brush, and I just make really soft, like, flick movements. And I always start like midway through the brow, and then I move it towards the end, because on the front of my brow I use a different colour, just to give it a bit more, you know, like that ombre effect, but it looks more natural that way, I think. Because as you can probably see, it's already starting to look like a lot fuller. I'm not even applying that much powder, I'm not using too much force. I think as well, because the reason why I used to do like quite dark brows is because my brows are naturally quite dark, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to go in with a dark brow product. And I do just kind of sketch around kind of the shape that my brows are trying to have. It is pretty much like colouring in. Like, if you liked colouring in as a child, you'll be good at this. And I would say, like, don't worry too much if the bottom isn't perfect, because I do tend to sculpt out my brows. That's just why concealer is just such a helpful product when it comes to brows. So I've done like the midway through my brow and the end of my brow, the tail. So the next colour I'm going to go in is with this lighter shade. And I'm just making there's no darker product on my brush. And just dipping into that lighter shade. And just... I don't know how to describe it, you just made a lot of flicking movements. Then I will just start going upwards to kind of mimic those hair strokes. But yeah, you can kind of see the difference there. Yeah, and that's how we're looking at the minute. I'm gonna just do the other one quickly. That's another thing as well, I can't just do one eyebrow and leave the other one blank. I've got to do them at the same time, otherwise it gets to me. Just using my spoolie again and just make sure just to brush it through. I do find, like, if you brush through it really softly, it does kind of, I don't know, further diffuse the product and just makes it look a lot more softer. So I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in medium brown. So obviously this is going to be a little bit darker than the brow powder, but all I really use for this is to kind of define certain hairs. So that's pretty much all I use this for. I don't use this to kind of block out my brows anymore. I used to, but yeah, like I said, I just found it too much. I am just going to go in with a little bit of that on my Anastasia brush, where I've used it so much the name has come off of it. So I think it's the 14 brush. I think they do a 12, 14, 16 brush, don't they? I think it might be the 14 brush. But it's quite a little brush. So I just kind of dab in there lightly. Emphasize what I want to emphasize. That's literally all I do to that brow. I just kind of defined this bit here because I do find that I get a bit of a bold spot here and a part of here, which again, I get a bit of a bold spot. And then I just kind of did a couple strokes of hair in the front. And the next thing I'm going to go in with is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This isn't, you know, paid partnership with Anastasia. I would quite enjoy it if it was, but it's not. Unfortunately, I just really like their products. So I do like to go in with the Clear Brow Gel. I know some people like to use like a lighter shade than their brow to kind of make it look like the hairs are more you know, like defined and stuff like that. I think because I've got quite coarse hair, I don't think I needed a coloured brow gel to define them. I think they're pretty noticeable. So I just kind of go in my clear brow gel and just hold them in place. I know some people use soap. I've tried using soap. I don't think I do it correctly, honestly. So I think I might need to practice that, because if you can do it with soap, you might as well just buy a soap bar. And because, you know, the soaps that you get are massive and you've already got 2 brows that are quite small. So think about it. One of these will last you, you know, a couple months maybe, whereas soap might last you a while. I don't know if soap can get mouldy. Can it get mouldy? I don't know. The final product that I'm going in with is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Now you can use any sort of concealer you like to carve out your brows. This has just always been my brow kind of sculpting concealer. And I just get, this is the Real Techniques, I think I rubbed off the number. No, 202 brush. So it's like really itty bitty, but it's perfect for like getting in those crevices of your brows that you really want defined. I'm just going on my brush with a little bit of concealer on the end of it. And I always start midway through the brow. I never start at the beginning. Because I remember Anastasia saying when she was like, you know, teaching people about brows, she said it's always important to put the most amount of product here, because concealer is like a highlighting product, right? So you want the highlighting area to be like where your, you know, the tail of your brow is, your brow bone, and then whatever's left on my brush, which is not usually a lot, I just kind of comb it through the front just to clean it up a bit, and that's literally like, that's what I do. And this just comes in handy when you've done a bit of a mistake. You know, because when you're in a hurry, you're trying to get your brows on, sometimes we go out of the lines, and you know, that's okay. That is what concealer is for. I'm really sorry if the lighting is not good. The sun is literally out and it's not gone away, basically. It's just here to stay. So that's a bit of a pain in the backside, I'm not gonna lie. So if you can't see my face, are you missing much? Anyway, yes. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this eyebrow tutorial. And another reason why I always use like concealer first now is because it's so much easier to kind of do my foundation around my eyebrows. Like, why did I never come to the revelation of this before? That's not attractive at all, is it? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned a couple tips and tricks, possibly, or, you know, just enjoyed the content, really. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Leave me a comment down in the Leave me your suggestions in the comment area down below, just so I know what kind of content you'd quite like, you know. So yeah, just let me know. You know, if you wanted me to do like a full-on catfish video, I mean, they seem to be really popular at the minute, and I think, you know, I look nothing like how I look with makeup on. I mean, who does? Nobody walks around with eyeliner on their face, you know, 24 hours. But yeah, please do leave a comment down below of any suggestions that you'd like. And also feel free and give this video a thumbs up if you learned anything. Or just, you know, for me, please. My IG is Lacey.makeup. Feel free and give us a follow. That'd be, you know, that'd be mint, to be honest. And also subscribe, because that will also be very, 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 very good. So yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already, and if you already are subscribed, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. Okay, bye. Just stop. Just look at me. Stop looking at the sun. Just look at me. Stop it. Stop looking at the sun. It's not gonna work, is it? Anyway, I'm gonna go eat. Bye.